Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Quite curious. Yes, quite curious indeed. I must say, this is quite a fine blend this morning. We've got a mix of hopium and Depends adult diapers. And that's what we're smoking today, baby. Alright, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Thursday morning. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yeshua the Messiah, our God. I do pray everybody is super blessed as the Bitcoin price right now is coiling up. It is coiling up. This is the peak of coil. Right here on our 4-hour market Cipher B, we are about to get a big move very soon. You can only squeeze so much before the juice comes out, baby. You can only squeeze so much until that juice comes out. And you can see we are printing red and green dots, confirming them on the dang zero line here. We go to our 6-hour. 6-hour actually looks a little bit more bullish than bearish, man. We go to our 3-hour. Man, it is squeezing together. Alright, it is squeezing together. And we're going to be discussing this, because this, I believe, could lead to a very big move leading into the weekend. Alright, you can only squeeze together for so long. What's very interesting about this here is the money flow is at the zero line. The momentum is at the zero line. The yellow oscillator is at the zero line. We have squeezed together as much as you can possibly squeeze together. And the next big thing to happen is a big move. Alright? DCA and pray. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Is crypto going to zero? I can't necessarily answer that question. Shout out to Crypto Coons. Shout out to Yowzer, Dankosaurus, Doinkosaurus. Shout out to Martin. Shout out to the only Jared, hitting deadlifts and charting. Let's run some lows and get these entries. That's what's up, bro. I'm all about trading and training. Shout out to Brad. He says, bless up, bro. Thanks for what you do. God bless you, my man. May the Lord bless you all. Shout out to Trader Geo. He thinks the new intro tracks are fire. Well, thanks, man. Shout out to... By the way, guys, if you're not subscribed to Trader Geo, go subscribe, alright? He thinks the intro tracks are fire. Go check out his YouTube channel. That's even more fire. Shout out to Jeremy Cup and JR Block, who says Jesus is king. Shout out to Silosis version 2. Shout out to WEEX. Why is my box of Depends almost empty? Well, it's because I haven't left the chart in 17 years, and you figured you have one adult diaper that lasts about a year and a half, and you know, it's starting to get empty. Shout out to Eddie, he says Boker Tov Lacha. Shout out to Alchemist's Lab. Buy Curious. I guess Bitcoin doesn't know which way she's going, huh? Shout out once again to Guy Incognito. Shout out to Getchy. Shout out to Suk Deep Sagu. What is the intro song? I don't know, some royalty-free thing off the dang royaltyfree.com stuff. Shout out to Cyrus. Shout out to the Swedish Monkey. And a major shout out to Duncan Blockchain. And Process to Profits. What is going on, Process to Profits? Shout out to Driftman. What is going on? Shout out to Investment Time. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Evan Wolfson. I'm good at entries but can never figure out where to take profit. How can you stop round tripping and closing too early? That's a great question. You know what I recommend? Check out Jason Casper's free course on YouTube. You know, that's what I would honestly recommend. Go check out Jason Casper's free course on YouTube. It will help you solve all your problems, relationship problems, financial problems, different types of problems. You keep burning the food when you're trying to cook, it'll help you solve that too. Alright? Can't put on muscle in the gym, help you solve that too. Putting on too much weight, it'll help you solve that too. Alright, for free on my YouTube channel, an 18-part series. I highly recommend you check out the risk management section. And I highly recommend you check out road to success, how to make a trading plan from a blank chart. All right. These two things will help you. Also, how to manage open trades. All right. How to manage open trades, how to make a trading plan from a blank chart, and the risk management section. Those three, I think it helps solve all your problems. And while you're at it, make sure to watch all my videos and like them. I mean, who wouldn't like this video of me in a random hotel room holding up my laptop looking urgent, right? I mean, who wouldn't click on that thumbnail? Apparently, not very many would. You know, only 9,000 people. I wonder why. When you hover over, there's a woman with uneven cheeks. But we digress, as Bitcoin is chugging along within what appears to be a potential bull flag. All right, let's just not beat around the bush here. Look at this potential bull flag, man. What's our breakout target? $130,000 Bitcoin. Man, that is our next big Fibonacci target as we are seeing the squeeze. By the way, guys, if you want to trade on WEEX, make sure to check it out. Link in the description. This is a flyer that tells you about all the cool stuff you can get if you sign up using my link. All right. Also, guys, make sure to check out BLOFIN. 20% cash back, low fees, all that stuff. KCEX, another great exchange. Link in the description. ANTARCTIC decentralized exchange. Here's a nice website here. Looks good, right? Here we go. Here we go. And of course, guys, if you don't have money but you know how to trade, check out kleinfunding.com. I have 25 and 15% discounts on these funded accounts. All right, 25% discount. You could literally pay $30 to get a $6,000 trading account. Of course, you can customize your plans here, drawdown and profit split and all that stuff. All right. Instant Pro, we got 15% discounts up on here. Make sure to check it out, guys. Now, the Bitcoin chart is quite interesting today. It really, really is. We are either going to see a big move up or a big move down. Like I say, you can only squeeze so much before the juice comes out. Doric MC wants to know, how can I get big cheeks? I look as saggy as a 70-year-old. In all seriousness, man, all right, I'll tell you what helped me with my small cheeks. Hip thrusts, all right? Hip thrusts. Hip thrusts. If you struggle to grow your glutes and your hamstrings and your lower back tend to take over in the deadlift and your glutes start to lag behind because the other muscles are so strong, you have trouble firing them, right? Hip thrusts. Really target and squeeze that gluteus maximus. And then after you get your gluteus maximus nice and squeezed on those hip thrusts, once you squat and deadlift again, you're going to notice that you're going to feel your glutes a lot more. And that'll strengthen your butt. All right? And I'll be honest with you, I do struggle with skinny buttitis. Well, my whole life I've struggled with skinny buttitis. And, you know, I started doing this a few years ago. And, you know, one day I got out of the shower, looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, damn, girl, you're looking big back there. It's like, wow, Jay Casper, what happened to your small buttitis? It's gone. All right, totally cured. It's hip thrusts. I'm telling you, man. All right, so I hope that helps. Hope that helps. Do I travel with my treadmill? Eddie, I'll be honest with you, okay? I'm gonna give it to you straight, bro. There have been times in my life where I have had to go away somewhere for a week or two, and I've had a treadmill shipped to that location. So yes, I can travel with it. Yeah, Dork, man, try that, bro. I'm telling you, man, that small buttitis will be gone in a second, bro. All right. Can we hear the pump song today? Probably. I mean, look, here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. You know, this isn't good for viewership, what I'm about to say. But the truth is, voice cracking. I almost didn't even stream today because, I mean, literally, all week, the price has been in the same spot. I mean, let's go back to we could go back a few weeks ago. I mean, July 13th, we're literally at the same price. I mean, July, we're just right here, man, 118.5. All right. So I'm hoping for a big move today. We've got New York open in a little bit. So here's the deal. We're going to break it down from the weekly We're going to look at altcoins. Altcoins have gotten a little bit of a bleed to the downside. We're going to be talking about places to look for the next big bounce. Because overall, I still have to remain a little bit bullish here. And I'll tell you why. All right? High time frame stuff. That's where it's at. All right? Monthly time frame. We still have room to the upside here. We're holding quite well. And, you know, look, we're holding the trend line of the bull market. In fact, right now, there's really no reason to think that this trend is over yet. In addition to that, we have broken out, and we are about to close in 1 week a monthly candle above the previous all-time high. Now, every time we close that monthly candle above the previous all-time high, it's a big bullish candle, and it leads to more upside. All right, we've seen this happen every single breakout in this entire bull run. As soon as we break the high, like we saw right here, we get a big monthly candle, we have a little consolidation, and then another big candle. As soon as we break the high back here, October 2023, straight up, we break the high right here. When Trump wins the election, we get a big pump, we get a little doji, and then another big pump. And so far, there's no reason to think we get anything different here. The weekly also has given us a strong breakout. We had volume, we had follow through. It's been now a week and a half that we've been maintaining this range. And when we look at the weekly market Cipher B, still some room to the upside here. All right. And let's not forget the fact that we are also witnessing a breakout after forming a very clear, very consistent bottom signal. Right. Remember, when we came down to this level, market Cipher B on the weekly was giving us the coveted hidden bullish divergence, right? A hidden bullish divergence is, as the price is making higher lows on a trend line, the oscillator makes a lower low, strangely resembling a set of uneven butt cheeks, a skinny one on the left, and a big one on the right, all right? Now, clearly, speaking of hip thrusts and small buttitis, there's a problem here, right? An imbalance. For some reason, that right butt cheek gets more stimulation from the exercise than the left cheek, which leads to an imbalance. And when you have an imbalance, what does that mean? Well, you need to correct it. So Bitcoin came down. It was too low. It was an imbalance, right? Bitcoin was undervalued. Need to be a correction. We've got that correction to the upside. All right? Now, when we came down to this area, by the way, this is why you got to like, subscribe, click the bell to JCasp, because we were screaming it from the dang rooftops. All right? We were screaming it from the dang rooftops back in April that this was a big bottom here. All right? This was a big bottom. Historic Bitcoin signal confirmed, much washed. ASAP, you could see we have videos of me and Carl from the Moon driving to McDonald's in a Maserati. We clicked the video and we were talking about Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs because of that bullish, uneven cheekage that we saw on market Cipher B. Okay? So far, the high time frames are bullish. And then as we zoom in here, let's go to the daily. What are we seeing? This is what really needs to happen. We've been saying this whole time. The daily needs to give us another trigger wave. The daily needs to print a green dot here. We really need the daily to come through for us. Because right now, we have this. We have the bottom signal, which is the bullish divergence. We have our first leg up, we have our higher low, right at key support, and we have our trigger wave. Okay, we have our trigger wave here. What we need now is this daily to come through. Now, there's a few possibilities here. Either that daily could give us a trigger wave like this, where we just kind of print it right here, and we break out of this range. All right, the daily starts to print the green dot, and we start to break out of that range. Now, here's another possibility. And, this is, by the way, if you're in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we gave the long setup from right here. And we also gave a long setup from, I think, right around here, if you're still in that trade. We've been longing this whole way up, calling basically the exact bottom in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Would you look at that? I mean, like, talk about good entries here. Gave the setup, told people when I take the trade, and boom, look at that, man. All right, same deal. From 105, gave the setup, told them when I took the trade, boom, All right, same deal from here. Gave the dang setup from 115. Told everyone when I'm taking the trade, and boom, 116, I guess. All right, I'm still actually in that trade. All right, so we've been on the money this whole way up here in the Casper crew at JasonCasperTrading.com, the best trading community in the world. But if we don't get the green dot very soon, as we see the squeeze, here's the thing: you can only squeeze so much before the juice comes out, and that juice is either going to squirt up or down. If we can get this green dot in the daily, I think we're going to squirt up for sure. But if we start to squirt down, then what do we need to be aware of? We really need to be aware of this. We have our back test support resistance flip, 109 to 112. And here's what we want to see. All right? This could be an epic swing trade. This could be an epic swing trade. The last big swing trade of the bull run to 130,000 or more. If you're a super bull, right? This is a super cycle. Super cycle, different than last time. All right? Every bull run is a super cycle, different than last time, okay? But let's say, CZ from Binance says we could see a $500,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. All right, so it's a super cycle. This is a 78 to 1 risk reward, a CZ from Binance breakout here. All right, but a more conservative target, 130,000. Our next big area is still almost 4 times more reward than risk here, 3 times more upside than downside. And what we would want to see in order to get into that trade is another hidden bullish divergence, right? Because right now, when we look at the structure of market Cipher B on the daily, we see the first 2 bullish things. Number 1 being the bullish divergence. Number 2 being that trigger wave as we came down to the key support back test of the Fibonacci golden pocket. And so now, if we go ahead and pull a fib from the low to the high, you can see we got a fib right around that area. What we would need to see is a back test of this zone and seeing a momentum wave now coming down lower than this one here, all right? If you see this and we have a slow, in order for this to happen, guys, let me just say, we cannot expect a fast dump. If we get a fast dump, this will not happen. We would need to see a slow, steady, painful bleed, all right? A slow, steady, painful bleed where it feels much more bearish in the moment for us day traders who are on the dang 1 second chart than it really looks on the daily and the weekly, right? We would need to see a slow bleed where we kind of chop around here, make another low, people freak out, we start to come up, people get a little optimistic, we come back down, all right? Now we're in August, all right? And then August would be our bottom. We have a few weeks in order for this daily time frame to get a deep momentum wave. If that happens, now once again, we have a hidden bullish divergence, and we would be trading along this trend line here. See? This trend line right here. We'd have the price making a higher low into the trend line. We take it from the lows back from April to the low that we made in June to a potential low in August, and that would be our blast off. All right? Now, we would also want to see this daily hidden bullish divergence be accompanied by regular bullish divergences on the lower time frame. So as the daily is coming down like this, we want to zoom into our 4-hour and see, remember, we're chopping in here. We're chopping for a little bit longer until like August or whatever. It's a slow, painful kind of thing. And then as we look at our 4-hour, we would want to see this 4-hour having, of course, the money flow was coming down, right? The momentum wave start to come down, and then we want to start to see that 4-hour tick back up, where as we're coming into that back test zone, the daily has a lower momentum wave than what we had back in June, and the 4-hour is starting to print the regular uneven butt cheek pattern with big on the left, skinny on the right. That is going to be a signal for a swing trade, a big swing trade, in my opinion. All right, now I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we do need to prepare because as I said, the 4-hour right now is as squeezed together as a squeezing can get. All right, there's no more room for this thing to squeeze. We're so squeezed that the dang oscillator is printing tops and bottoms at the 0 line here. All right, money flow at the 0 line, yellow oscillator at the 0 line. We are so squeezed together right now that something needs to give. All right, we cannot go on like this forever. All right, so those are kind of the two scenarios that I'm looking at. Either a big break to the upside or a slow bleed to the downside. If we get a fast drop to the downside, you know, I'm gonna deal with that as it comes. You know, I'm in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. I'll let my crew know if I decide to FOMO into a long on a drop. All right, because I might see some good stuff. But these are like the two easiest things to get into here. Now, when we zoom in even more on Bitcoin, let's go to the 1 hour. Like, the most obvious thing right now in my mind, guys, is this. All right, as we consolidate here, we are building liquidity to the downside. We're also building liquidity to the upside. And what I mean by building liquidity is this. There are two groups of people here. There are the bears who are convinced we're getting a big drop, and there are the bulls who are convinced we're getting a big pump. If you're a bear, you're shorting these highs, and you're putting your stop loss here. You're putting your stop loss here. If you're long the lows. You put your stop loss here, you put your stop loss here, you put your stop loss here, put your stop loss here, stop losses here, right? And what this does is it sets up a scenario where the bigger players just wreck the retail. Because whatever direction we go right now, it's going to wreck a lot of people. It's going to wreck a lot of people who are opening and holding trades in this little chop zone, right? And I'm not talking about people getting chopped up in these little moves here. I mean, people who are holding out for a big move. If we come to the upside, they are going to get wrecked, the people who shorted. If we come to the downside, they're going to get wrecked, the people who long. Which means the best places right now to look for an actual trade are going to have to be taking out all the stop loss to the upside or taking out all the stop losses to the downside, right? And this lines up perfectly, actually, with our idea that when the squeeze happens, it's going to be big, right? Because when longs get stopped out, guess what? That's a sell order in the order book. It pushes the price lower, 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 lower. And then we come to support, right? And vice versa. If we start to pump, it pushes the price higher, 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 short squeeze, baby. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty obvious right now. It looks like I would be very surprised if we, eventually this thing's going to have to break, man. And the way that we keep messing around with these lows, look at this. We build some liquidity. We take the low back to the top. Take the liquidity, then we form a local low here, get a bounce, take the liquidity. It's very choppy. Unless you're scalping this and you're very precise, you know, I tried to take a long trade yesterday. I ended up closing at basically a break even. Somewhere, I think, in here. I longed this first move up. And then as I saw we were coming back down, losing some key levels, I moved my stop loss up to close that trade in a it's like a $50 loss basically. But yeah, this is where we're at, man. We'll take a look at the volume as well, and we are just trading within that fair value zone. I mean, for me, it's really a no trade zone. I took a trade yesterday because I was feeling like, well, let me see if I can get something here. All right, but obviously it didn't turn out so great. Let's take a look at the order flow too. All right, let's take a look at what the order flow is looking like as we consolidate here. All right, this is going to be pretty important. Make sure to like the dang stream, guys. We got 1,000 people in here. Wow, we got a super chat from my man, Evan Aldo. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Evan Aldo, go subscribe. A hidden gem of a crypto YouTuber. And here's the thing. Evan Aldo is probably one of the most trustworthy crypto YouTube traders in the world. And I'll tell you why. You can trust Evan Aldo, all right? He does not care at all about having a big YouTube channel, selling courses and all that stuff, all right? He's just a smaller YouTube channel. He's a trader, and he travels the world making money trading, all right? He's not there trying to shill you all this stuff like Jason Casper's always trying to shill you this and that. I mean, yeah, he's got affiliate links, like we all do, all right? But he's the real deal, all right? He's the real deal. Full-time trader, really knows his stuff, higher time frame, all right? Has a good feel on the market. shows you his trades, all this stuff, man. Shout out to Evanaldo. Make sure to go subscribe to him. Evanaldo says, I think markets continue to rally until early mid-August, potential new all-time high for ETH by then correction in mid-August to mid-September before rallying to more. That's cool, and I hope that happens. I sounded a bit Italian with that. But thank you so much, Evanaldo, for the super chat, my man. You're subscribed to Evanaldo. Yeah, man, Evanaldo. I like Evanaldo. I like Evanaldo. I always tell my wife, I'm like, I like Evanaldo. Evanaldo reminds me of a good friend of mine that I had back in the day. That's why I like him. So I feel like I know him a lot better than I do. Because he reminds me so much of my friend that I used to be friends with. I mean, I guess I'm still friends. You know how it is. You don't talk in years. He reminds me so much of a really good friend I had. This is very interesting. So the CVD, what is CVD? This is this green stuff down here, which you guys can't see yet. CVD, cumulative volume delta. This is called cumulative volume delta. And what this means is, this is telling us what direction are traders opening up trades in. If this green stuff is getting lower, that means primarily traders are opening up trades in the short direction. If this green stuff is getting higher, it means people are primarily opening up longs. All right. Now, what's so interesting here is that we can see Bitcoin continuously throughout this move to the upside, all the way from around $100,000, we have consistently seen more shorts opening up than longs. What does that mean? That means, guys, that there is bullish CVD, because when you have a consolidating area where we're making a series of higher lows, and yet there's more shorts than longs in the market, that's a divergence. Why is that a divergence? Well, because the price is moved by the market participants. If there's more shorts than longs, if there's more shorts happening here than here, you would expect price to make a lower low, right? If there's 25 people selling Bitcoin here, and then there's 55 people selling Bitcoin here, logic would say, well, people are shorting, people are selling, we would expect to be in a downtrend. But because we're actually making higher lows, this is cluing us into the fact that there's big players here. All right, we got our whales. It's actually not a bad whale, huh? We got our whales down here, and what they're doing is, as the retail traders are getting a little bit, let's say, bearish, these whales are saying, man, we got a lot of retail traders selling here. This is a good opportunity for me to buy. And so they're buying, they're actually absorbing those short orders. And once these whales are full and there's no more retail to short, boom, they push it up. We're actually seeing the same thing happening right here in this range. All right. Now, you might think this is amazing, this is great, but here's the problem. The open interest is flat. All right. Open interest is flat. And if you don't know what that means, I do have a free course, all right, that goes over the order flow, all right? Check this out, all right, my YouTube channel. But open interest is flat, which it means we could still interpret this as bullish CVD. But to make it really bullish, you would want to see this stuff down here, the open interest, consistently getting higher over time. Instead, what we're seeing is it started here in the range, and it's currently right here in the range, which means we could draw a line straight across and basically see that it's maintained the same over time. All right. So yes, more people are shorting than longing, but it's not a very strong indication because the open interest is flat. So overall, as we're looking at the chart, I would say that I have to lean more bullish than bearish here. I have to lean more bullish than bearish. I also have to remain very neutral. And I think that's pretty key when we're dealing with ranges like this, to remain as neutral as possible as a trader, not as a holder. As a holder, you know, look, I'm looking for higher, okay? But as a trader, we have to remain neutral here because things are ambiguous, very, very, very ambiguous. Like me when I was in college, majoring in trans-non-carbon binary emission gender intersectionality studies. Very ambiguous. People didn't know. Jay, what bathroom are you going to pee in? The girls or the boys? You know, I'd be in Walmart. I made a great Walmart person, all right? Go into Walmart 2:30 a.m. Whole bunch of these types, right? And people would watch me go into the bathroom to see which one is he going to go into. That's what Bitcoin is right now, right? So I'm remaining neutral. I'm remaining neutral with a slight bullish lean. And based on this 4 hour, based on the 6 hour, based on our 8 hour, based on our 12 hour, I have to lean bullish. And based on our CBD, I have to lean bullish. But I'm gonna maintain that more neutral bias. And if we do so happen to get a big move down, remember, 109 to 112 is going to be the most important level. If we get a move up, I expect we're going to hit around 130,000, which is the 1.786 Fibonacci target. All right. Take a look at ETH here. Man, ETH, you know, people have been feeling bearish on ETH. You know what's interesting? The Twitter area, this Twitter space, has been pretty bearish. All right. I've seen a lot of bears on Twitter. Shout out to IM. He says, rock out with my beast. I go by Aqua Stone Throne. I've been featured on all the biggest YouTube channels. Recently made Hot 97. No way, bro. Hot 97. Now, you know, I used to listen to Hot 97 back in the day. That's like a New York radio station. You know, I used to live up in North Jersey. Hot 97. That's crazy, man. But is it royalty free? I am Aquastone. I'd be down to check that out. You know, I'd be down to check that out. We got some super chats in the house. Shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. He says, thanks for stopping by Sammy's stream yesterday. Looking forward to Bitcoin leaving the chop zone soon. Blessings to you and your family. God bless you, Andrew. Thank you so much for being here. I see you're smoking a pipe just like myself. Yeah, man, I always watch Crypto Lifer. All right, I always watch him. He streams usually when I'm taking care of the chickens and doing some farm work. So I can't look at the charts, so I listen to Sam. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's zoom out. Let's take a look at ETH here. Again, when in doubt, always zoom out. What do we see? We see money flow crossing on the weekly. We see money flow crossed on the weekly. Very bullish, all right? We see the 2-day time frame. We've printed the red dot. Okay, is this bullish or bearish? Well, the money flow is getting thicker. This typically means we need to consolidate, which is exactly what we're doing. All right, we come to the daily. Daily has printed the red dot. We've been consolidating. Then we come down to our lower time frames. We're starting to see some bottoms on the 4-hour time frame. Not only are we starting to see bottoms, but we are seeing the hidden bullish divergences forming, right? We're seeing continuation patterns here as ETH is starting to form this consolidation. Now, not only are we consolidating, but we're holding above this trend line, all right? This is very important. So long as we hold above this trend line, and let me draw it more accurately here, all right? And by the way, trend lines on the Bybit inverse perpetual pairs are very, very reliable. Super dang reliable. Okay, so we're a little bit below it here. Getting a weekly close above is going to be crucial here, all right? So it's the same with Bitcoin. I'm going to have to remain neutral. I'm going to have to remain neutral with a slight bullish bias. So if I was looking to get long on ETH, there's 2 major levels that we need to be aware of, all right? First of all, I'm super bullish on ETH based on the monthly time frame. Never before in history ever have we seen a green dot print under the 0 line for ETH when Bitcoin was at a cycle all-time high. All right, it's the monthly time frame. Look at this monthly candle here. It's very bullish. Bullish engulfing, purple, bullish engulfing. Unless we close this candle below 2,400, it's going to be a bullish engulfing candle, all right? So these high time frames are very bullish, which means I'm not scared of a dump. I welcome a dump because that would allow me to get into a leverage position on ETH, which I am looking for now. So the first major zone to be aware of is going to be the $3,300 area. This is simply just the high volume node of our range, right? We've gotten a breakout. Let's see. We've gotten a breakout. I don't know what the heck is going on here. We're going to make it say key level, but I spelled key wrong. Here we go. 3, 3, 3, 3. We're gonna make it even threes. All right. 3, 3, 3, 3, dot 33. Okay. You know, it's so interesting about the 333. I know for some reason Sam Price talks about 333. I have 333 tattooed on my wrist, and I always see 333 everywhere. All right. I don't know what it means. Now, this is gonna be our first area to look for a bounce because this is our high volume node. If we don't hold the high volume node, we have our Fibonacci golden pocket, our 786, and the value area low of the range coming down around 2,700. Which means I would definitely be very, 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 very interested in the event of a pullback on ETH, a sharp pullback of about 27%, which could happen, right? Could happen. This would be an opportunity, a big opportunity to get in on ETH to very high prices. In my opinion, we're going to see it over $7,000, potentially over $8,000. All right, this is what we could be looking at here. Now, when we zoom out, we just look objectively at this, right? What do we see? We see a bullish deviation of the triangle, a break inside the triangle, a back test, a move up to the top of the triangle, and now another back test of support, and then the breakout, maintaining this uptrend here. Right? Maintaining this uptrend. And remember, this is happening with the strength of the monthly time frame. All right, it's happening with the strength of the monthly time frame here. So this is what I'd really be looking at for ETH. And of course, if this happens as well, it's not just going to be the fact that we're backtesting support here, right? But this is also going to be, if we go to our daily, let's go to our daily. This is also going to be an inverted head and shoulders, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder with the break, right? That could be really juicy. Of course, we'd look for our first bounce at 3333.33. But then we'd wait down for around 2,700. Those two areas on ETH are very key right now. The only other way we could possibly get long on ETH is if we don't consolidate at all and we just start to pump right here. We reclaim 4K, get a back test. That's the only other way we could long ETH. All right. Am I bearish on ETH? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'm extremely bullish on it. I've seen a lot of people be bears, even like big crypto influencers be bearish on ETH. Personally, I'm going to go on a limb and say I'm quite bullish on the asset. I'm quite bullish on the asset because it's the number 2 market cap crypto. It is, we've got ETF rumors that are probably most likely going to be happening. And I just think that when bigger money is looking at crypto assets to invest in, they're looking at what's tried and true, right? And ETH is tried and true, the number 2. Plus, Vitalik Buterin has a girlfriend now. That's very bullish. Very, very bullish. All right. Shout out to Fred. He says, Jeremiah 33:3 says, call to me and I will answer you. And I will tell you great and unsearchable things that you do not know. That's pretty cool, man. Shout out to Evan. Getting the haircut today. Yeah, there's a lot of things 333 could mean, right? There's a lot of things 333 could mean. 6 Juanita did 9/11. Shout out to a beer. Shout out to Nick Flip. I'm gonna stick to my guns. Aqua Stone Throne. He says, ha 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 ha. I love you, man. Shout out to Evan Aldo once again in the chat. Lex says, how are women allowed to drive? What if his girlfriend breaks up with him? Then I don't know, man. That's bearish. Carl the Moon is bearish on sandals with socks. Is that true, Bernie? Shout out to Bernie, by the way. Good to see you here, man. You know, Bernie, man. Haven't seen you in a while, bro. But I'm glad to see Bernie in the house. You know, Bernie, my man. Always coming in with the best. with the best comments. I love Bernie's comments. All right. 3 eggs, 3 bacon strips, and 3 muffins. Okay, okay. Hopefully it's beef bacon or turkey bacon. Shout out to Mitch, Dolores Buttcheek at the diner looking good. Randy made 16K on a Zora long yesterday. Blew your mind. That's amazing, bro. AI good at trading, or is this a myth? I'm sure AI is great at trading, Alex-wise, but I don't necessarily think your common people have access to that. All right. I think you're not going to be able to do that with the public AI. That's probably the secret AI that only the developers have. All right. Because if you have an AI that can trade, you're not gonna share that with people. All right. So I'm sure you'd be able to like get some kind of algorithm going, like using AI. You'd probably be able to get some kind of like thing that's like, well, you know, if the chart, you know, does this and the indicators do that, we take a trade with risk to reward or whatever. You know, a very unbiased way to enter. But I'm sure there's AI out there that's like specifically just for trading, probably making so much money right now we would never know. Randy's working on an AI trading bot. Yeah, I know a lot of people are. You know? I know a lot of people are. When am I getting married? I'm getting married 11 years. And 1 month ago, I guess now. It's going to be my 11-year and 1 month anniversary in 4 days. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Make sure to like the video. Look, it's so funny. People say, you know, altcoins are getting a pullback. I mean, does this really look like a pullback, though, guys? In general, come on. Come on. Cardano getting a pullback as well. But come on. Come on. This is not really a pullback. All right? This is just a little bit of a retrace here. Cardano breaking out the dang bullish wedge. All right? Let's remove some of these arrows here. Because they're too much. They're too much. So in my opinion, Cardano looks pretty bullish. And we can deal with it now in this range. We continue to get more pullback here. Let's go ahead and pull some fibs. Yeah, so look at this. All right. We get more of a pullback on Cardano. We're looking for support between 57 cents and 67 cents. It's a 10-cent zone. That will be our back test of the value area low of this range. Our golden pocket, our 786. The back test of this trend line, which we have broken out of. And if we're shooting for our $5 target, this could be a good place to get in, honestly. Now again, remember, my grandmother, she's been trading crypto since the 50s. And she would always tell me, Jason, you know, a support, a level of support, it don't mean a peak if it ain't got that cheek. All right, this level of support, Jay, it don't mean a peak if it ain't got that cheek. She would say this to me all the time. And so look, if we start to dump and we come down to these supports that I'm pointing out, remember, if you don't see bullish divergences or any bullish sign, then you can't just long the level without some kind of confirmation. All right. So these are not trade signals. These are trading plans. And so the purpose of a trader is not to predict, but it's to prepare. All right. As a trader, we don't predict, we prepare, because we don't know what's going to happen. We can't control the future, but what we can control is, what do we prepare for? Are we prepared, for example, in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com to come down to $100,000? Yeah, we're prepared. So when we come down and we see what we want to see, we take a trade because we were prepared. Not because we're predicting, but we had a level marked out and we knew it doesn't mean a peak if it ain't got a cheek. We take the trade, we make the profit. Same deal, 105. We're prepared. It's a really nice level. We acknowledge it's a nice level. We acknowledge a good trade can be made from here. All right? In the stream, we talk about exactly how to know when and if to pull the trigger. When we come down here and we see what we want to see, we pull the trigger because we were prepared. We already knew the criteria that would get us into a trade here. You're not just throwing money at every level. That's a good way to get well, if you're using good risk management, that's a good way to never make any money. Use to say, okay, we're at my support and I see bullish signs, then you take the dang trade, right? That's how we do in the Casper crew, right? That's how we do. That's how we do. That's how we do. All right. By the way, guys, make sure to check out WEEX, KCEX, BLOFIN, ANTARCTIC, and Klein funding. If you want to trade crypto, links in the description, and make sure to check out jasonstratham.com if you want to trade, if you want to join the best trading group in the world. All right, the best trading group in the world, as Bitcoin is trying to get another move to the upside. Oh no, we have gone super German sounding. All right, Evan Wilson, he says mic check. Mic check, mic check, 1, 2, mic check. Mic is good. Jason's the backpack, flip-flop, treadmill, rapid master. Shout out to Trade. He says, hey champ, what's your profit factor? What's your win rate? About a 0%, I think. I don't know, because is there even a way to check that? Let me see. I trade on multiple exchanges. But the exchange I've been trading on consistently for the last week is definitely KCEX. I've been scalping on KCEX. Let's see. Alright, KCEX. I've been on it for about 2 weeks. And my P&L is 22%. My P&L is 22% in about a week and a half. There's my 30-day P&L. Oh, you can't see it because it's green. And does it tell me my win rate? I've taken like 2 trades on BLOFIN, so it's like impossible to know. 1 win and 1 loss, so 50% win rate there. But this is my scalping. I've been scalping this. Let's see. P&L ratio. 60% win rate. %60 win rate. I guess 60% on this scalping account in the last week and a half. But those things don't even really matter, to be honest with you. They don't really matter. They really don't matter. I'm sure they might matter for some people, but in my experience, your win rate, it doesn't really matter. You could lose more trades than you win and be super profitable. I mean, that happens to me all the time. I'll take like 4 or 5 losses, and then I get that big trade, like, and it's offsets like crazy, you know? I'll lose like 4, 5, 6K, and then make like 20. You know? So that's a pretty bad win rate. You don't have access to the paid course? Open up the open up a ticket in the Discord. All right, open up a ticket in the Discord. Any advice to a new learner? Yeah, check out the free course, man. On YouTube, check out the free trading course. All right, 18 sessions for free. If you apply this information, I can't guarantee that you're going to make money, but if you actually apply it, I'm not saying you could understand it and not apply it, okay? Which is honestly the biggest reason traders get wrecked. If you apply it, at the very worst, I say you're definitely not going to blow your account. All right? You'll probably break even if you actually apply this information here. All right? Because there's no way you can come to a chart, make a plan based on technical analysis with good risk management and blow your account, okay? Now, you could understand this stuff real easy and blow your account because you don't apply it, all right? And you blow your account because you don't apply it. David Goggins walks for days, Jason walks for whole season. Man, David Goggins, man, that guy hates himself, I think, right? I think he hates himself. You subscribe for the grandma quote. That's what's up, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Alright. Do I have a fixed risk reward? No, absolutely not. I don't have a fixed risk reward. But if you want to know how I deal with it, check out the this video here, how to make a trading plan from a blank chart. This is how I get my risk rewards. All right, I plan for trades. I plan for trades. Okay, I plan for the risk rewards. All right. I give myself invalidations and I shoot for my targets. And this is also how I calculate my TP1s. So if I know, for example, like this is like an 11-to-1 or something, you know, I'll hit my TP1 at a 4-to-1. Take out half the trade. I've already made more than I risked, and then I let the rest run. Right? I plan for my my invalidations, right? Now, here's something else I do, and I go over this more in the VIP Discord. But I have a flexible risk to reward ratio, because you could be planning for this trade, right? You could be planning for this trade, but then, actually, what was it? It was this trade, right? I was planning for this trade here with a wider risk to reward ratio, but when it happened in the moment, I decided to take an aggressive long, which gave me a better risk to reward ratio, because I saw something that happened within my zone of entry. I saw something that happened within my zone of entry that made me say, okay, I have a much better risk to reward here. So when you're planning out your trade, something that's really important to do when you're making trading plans is, this is for more experienced traders, but if you have a zone of entry, let's say right here, all right, this is your entry zone, and this is your target. Let's say you have a, let's say this is your trade setup here, right? You would plan, like this is a 20% stop loss, right? This is a 20% stop loss. So let's make it easier. Let's use let's use just the basic 1% stop loss so the math is easier, right? Let's say you have like a big moon target here. We're gonna have to zoom in on this one. Here we go. Let's say that this is your entry zone here, okay? And this is your target. What the heck? I don't know. Maybe it's not meant to be. You have to join the Casper crew to get that juice, alright? It's not working out on this. It's not working out on this. But I have dynamic risk to rewards, right? When I'm taking a trade, I plan for maybe like 3 different position sizes, depending on what happens, right? Because depending on what happens, you might get yourself a better or worse entry. Alright, Bitcoin. Trying to get a push to the upside here. Let's see. Look at this. Look at the Bitcoin price right now. I know you guys can't see it, can you? I know y'all can't see it, can ya? How much would it cost to come out for 4 days in Homestead Trade and buy? No, I can't do that, man. I'm sorry. Shout out to John Ploney. He says, sometimes you need a break to go touch grass. Ain't that true? Do I ever find myself tired of trading? Yeah, of course, man, all the time. Like, today I'm pretty tired of it. If I wasn't a crypto YouTuber, if I wasn't committed to doing a live stream today, I probably wouldn't be on the charts at all. I have my alerts set. I've literally had the same trading plan since Monday. I really don't have a reason to be on the chart right now. Except I'm committed to do this YouTube channel. Alright? Plus, get my cardio in, you know what I'm saying? Gotta stay lean, gotta stay sliced, diced, looking nice. But yeah. Any advice on how to use the Discord wisely? Yeah, check out the beginner zone, man. Check out the beginner zone. Alright, Bitcoin trying to get a move. Let's check out the... New York's gonna open in about 8 minutes. How's the order flow looking? tapering off. Not very much. Not very much to look at. Shout out to John Ploney, man. Speaking of being sliced dice, looking nice, man. John Ploney's looking pretty sliced and diced right there. Have I ever gone over AVAX? Yeah. Yeah, I can go over it now. I'm really bullish on it. I'm really bullish on it. How long will I be streaming for in my life? I don't know. I have no plans to stop. I have no plans to stop, so who knows? You know, who knows how long we'll be able to stream? Like, you know, things change so quick in technology and stuff. Like, just who knows what the future kind of holds with stuff, right? I mean, just a few years ago, streaming wasn't even a thing. I remember when Facebook Live all of a sudden became a thing. You know? So this is how I'm feeling about good old AVAX. Look, we've got bullish signs out the wazoo here. Assuming we hit an all-time high, or previous high, right now that's 13 times more upside than downside. We could even see AVAX down below $8 and still have 8 times more upside than downside. We could even see AVAX down below $1.90. Or we see AVAX at $1.80, and there's still 5 times more upside than downside. All right, when we take it off log scale. It looks crazy on log scale, like there's more downside than upside, but no. When we put it on linear, there's more upside than downside, 5 times more. So for me, AVAX is one of those coins where I'm super bullish. I hold a lot. I think you're still early, right? If we're going to have an alt season, which I believe we will, I believe this is still a good time to get in because there's way more upside than downside. You know, it's not like these other coins here where they've already kind of gotten the pumps. You know, they've already gotten the pumps. They've already gotten the pumps. Shout out to Fred. He says, shout out to John Boy. What's going on, bro? Fred says, just did 300 flares with nunchucks and 75 push-ups like Bruce Lee. Gonna hit the aqua bag with hooks. Wow, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Can I explain in a few minutes how I use Coinalyze? Not really, but I could point you to a video that goes over how to use Coinalyze in about half an hour. Actually, 21 minutes. Check it out on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel over on Twitter. Right here, this video right here. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. Shout out to Crypto Coons. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Do I need an assistant? Nah, I'm sorry, Mr. Redbeard59. When was the last time I looked at AR? Let's check out AR. Alright. Before we check out AR, let me take this dang vest off, guys. I did a heavy leg workout this morning, and this is a heavy vest. I'm gonna take it off. I'll be right back. Alright, well, we did take a look at AR a little bit here. And here's what I have to say about it. We see bullish div as we take the low. We've come back up, now we're making a higher low, and we're starting to reclaim this support resistance slip here with anchor and trigger on the weekly. Let's go to the monthly. About to print a green dot on the monthly. It looks pretty good, I have to be honest. The 4-day has bullish divergences here as well. The money flow is a little iffy, but in general, this thing is pretty bottomed out here. I mean, look at it not on log scale. It looks like we're at support. It looks like we have a good opportunity to get in here. And if we hit our all-time high, that's a 19 times more upside than downside risk to reward. So it looks pretty good in my opinion. You know, we got a super chat in the hoose. Can you please look at Vine? Yeah, we can look at Vine. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say about Vine. Look, there's not a lot of data here. It's been live since January. It looks like we're finally getting a big candle on the daily. I'd be cautious, like pump and dump type stuff. Man, wow. It's pumping. I mean, let's just talk about risk to reward. Assuming we make it to all-time highs and don't make another low, it's only a 7 to 1. Do we have bullish divergences? Yeah, we got some on the 4 hour. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't really know what to say. I can't really necessarily give a good entry on this. The only thing we could do is like maybe pull a fib and say if we are given the back test at the golden pocket, confluence with. Do we have any volume confluence? Come on, volume profile, come on. Come on, volume profile, come on. And we don't, yeah, I guess we do. The 786 and the high volume node there. I mean, if we get a pullback of about 45%, that would be a nice entry, a nice support resistance flip. Yeah, it's also the value area high. That'd be a nice entry in my opinion. You know? Pump song, is Bitcoin pumping? Let's check out Bitcoin real quick. Yeah. If we start to see something bullish, New York has just opened, guys. New York has just opened. I'm gonna have to tie myself down because of the dang. Yeah, we got 3 minutes to New York open. You think it looks promising? Bullish on parade? Yeah. Kind of does. What do I look at to decide if I should take profit early? I very rarely take profit early, but if I see super bearish signs and I just want the money, I'll just take it, man. Honestly, I'll just take it. I try to stick to my risk rewards. I try to make sure that I'm always making at least more than what I risked on the trade. All right, New York is opened, and we start with the dump. Now remember, New York usually gives us the 1-2 punch, the fake out, and then the real move. Open interest is flat. We're getting a move down. Are we going to go for the liquidity? Are we going to go for the liquidity? It's crazy how little we have been moving, how low the volatility is. All right. New York is open. The picture quality's bad, says MK Blog. Well, what can I say? All right. I ain't no dang, what's the word for it? I ain't no dang Fox News studio up in here, man. You know, what do you think? You think I'm Fox News up in here? CNN? Come on, man, I'm just a guy in the room with the dang treadmill. You know? Just a guy in the room with the dang treadmill over here. Can we look at XRP? Yeah, but first I want to see what's happening with this Bitcoin. Because it looks like we're getting a a little bit of a blue. A big baby blue coming on in. Alright, let's see what happens with this New York Open here. I sound like the Joker's mom. Nah, this is how Dolores at the diner sounds. You know who I'm talking about, right? Dolores at the diner, that waitress. She comes out smoking a cigarette inside still like it's the 80s over here, you know? Dolores, this guy Jason over here needs another cup of coffee. Look at this. Yeah, Jay takes big pharma money up in here. This whole channel is sponsored by Pfizer. Alright? There's subconscious subliminal messages up in here. With the blue candles pumping, trying to remind you of Pfizer. You know, they got that big blue pill, if you know what I mean. And the purple, you know, the opposite of Pfizer. You know. I never stream New York Open. Yeah, it's rare. Alright, but I figured today, why not? I mean, there ain't nothing much going on here. You know, there ain't nothing much going on here. Looks like we're getting a dump down. Alright. I think it's your internet, MK Vlog. Let me check it on my end, but I'm pretty sure it's your internet. Yeah, I've got excellent conditioning up in here. You know. Let's see if we've got any buyers or sellers coming in. Not really, right? It's crazy. Check out EXO. EXO sucks lately, man. EXO really sucks. Alright, we're holding above the VWAP. We have pretty much nothing happening. We're starting to get a little bit of a blue. Starting to get a little bit of a blue. A little bit of a blue. Giveaway at 1,000 likes. Well, we're trying to do it in half an hour. I don't know why people don't like the stream anymore. I used to stream in the afternoon and people used to really like the video, but in the morning they don't. I get it. You're tired, all right? You're tired. You're tired. I get it. I get it. I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Here we go. We're starting to pump. Yeah, we're starting to pump. Randy says Bitcoin's about to pump. Oh, yeah. 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 Man, oh yeah. Here we go. Bitcoin, hear my flow. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, Jay Casper. Ready or not, here we go. Just sit back, listen to my crypto flow. Cause the candles, don't you know, down below turning purple, then they're blue. Cause welcome to the show. Sit back, relax, Jay Casper teach ya. Up in the ocean, don't catch a leech, Cause you know they like to suck the blood. Like the market makers coming in, give you a hug. They wanna sweep liquidity to the upside. Then they stop you out like a water slide. Then they take the trade, gotta let it ride. Lock in the profits, don't go to the other side. You know we like to take the ride down the highway. When we're getting in, we're so fly, spyway. Don't you know we go so high my way? We never take it back, then we go sideways. Staying in the range, coming to the charts just to make the change. Don't you know we never change, we stay the same. Do it the same way every single day, Jay. Giving it to you straight, I never give it to you gay. Always super serious, you know I never play. Cause we got the bull flag coiling up. Bitcoin like the coffee in my cup, take a sip. Got the caffeine in my veins. Jay on the treadmill, insane. Don't you know, he likes it in the membrane every single day when we're coming, cause we stay the same to take the trades. We eat with trades, we're in the garden big with spades. Cause you know we never play. And I'm trying to think of the right words to say on this crypto morning, because you know I like to play. I rhyme play with play about 3 times, cause that's what I say. Because my name is Crypto Master J. Come to the treadmill just to take the trade. Yeah, let's see how we do. EXO charts, what a fool. Starting to pump, purple candles turning blue with a decrease of OI. I'll take you to the trading school. Speak of that, don't you know? Head over to my YouTube channel show. Got a free trading course coming in, of course. with the chickens on the farm and the horse. How support and resistance works. Master trading view, don't get hurt. Market structure's king, man. Listen to me sing, man. Next thing you know, we put on the ring, man. Here we go. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, yo, yo, yo. Remove the sticker on my cap. Nah, I don't remove the stickers on my caps, bro. I'm so sorry. I never remove the stickers on my caps. Alright, let's see if Bitcoin's still pumping here. We might need to do a you know what, a pump song, but there's not much action going on. Alright, there's not much action going on. Shout out to T-Pie. What's going on? Shout out to Josh Rodriguez and Always Plug. Shout out to Aaron Bardox. Do the pump song 2025 style. What's the pump song 2025 style? Look, if I start to feel convicted that we're gonna pump, I will burst into the pump song. All right, I will burst into the pump song. But it looks like we're getting Big Dirty Perp coming on in here. All right, Big Dirty Perp. And I'll bet you if we look at the low time frames on Bitcoin, we probably got El Punto Rojo, the red dot coming on there. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like the 12-minute could give us El Punto Rojo pretty soon. Yeah, look at this potential El Punto Rojo. All right, we don't want to see El Punto Rojo. We want to see El Punto Verde, the green dot. Let's see. Look, we had El Punto Verde down here, El Punto Rojo right here, El Punto Verde. It's a fight. All right, the two gangs are at fight. Alright, El Punto Rojo kind of big and fat, you know. El Punto Verde lean. He could definitely outrun El Punto Rojo. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, we're getting a big juicy blue. Big juicy blue. Are Christians the new Israel? Our Pink asked a theological question. No, of course not. There's only one thing, right? There's only Israel. There always ever was Israel. Always. God chose a people. He said, you guys are going to be my special people. Right? So guess what? If you're a Christian, you get to join God's special people. And guess what? If you're a physical Jew, a descendant of Abraham, a descendant of Jacob, you also have a choice whether or not to be part of God's people. Right? Look what happened in Bamidbar. Look what happened after God parted the Red Sea and led all of Israel through. Only 2 of them made it into the Promised Land. The rest perished in the wilderness. And think about what happened with Korach. When they rejected the God-sent Redeemer, who was Moses, when they rejected the God-sent Redeemer, they were cut off from their people. All right? So, whether or not you're a physical descendant of Israel, or a Gentile grafted in, if you reject the God-sent Redeemer, you are cut off from God's people. But if you are a Christian, you do not replace God's people Israel. You get to join God's people Israel, which is a consistent picture that we see all throughout Scripture. We see non-Israelites becoming part of Israel. In fact, they're even in the lineage, the genealogy of Jesus. Rahab, the prostitute from Jericho, Ruth the Moabite, even, believe it or not, Caleb, he was not even an Israelite. He was a Kenizzite, which comes from Edom. But he was considered to be of the tribe of Judah. So, yeah, no, you don't replace anything. You get to join the thing that God started doing a long time ago when he called Abraham. Right? Doesn't necessarily change your ethnicity, right? I'm not saying that you all of a sudden change ethnicity, but you become part of God's set-apart people through your union with the Messiah. Right? God has one, he has one people, all right? Israel, the nation throughout the Hebrew scripture is the wife of Jehovah, of Yahweh, okay? God doesn't have two wives, he has one wife. That's the picture, right? That's the picture of the man and the woman in the first place. The two become one flesh. It's a picture of the Messiah and his people. So, you know, God's not out here with two wives. He's out here with one wife. His special people. And ever since God called Abraham, there's only been one people. And everyone has the opportunity to become part of that people. That's literally the good news. That's literally the good news according to the New Testament. Right? This mystery, this is the gospel. The mystery is that through the gospel, the nations, the Goyim, are heirs together with Israel, members together of one body, and shares together in the promise, in the Messiah, Yeshua, in Jesus. And go back to Ephesians 2. Paul's talking to the Gentiles. He says, remember that formerly you who are Gentiles by birth, called uncircumcised, blah, 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 blah. At that time, you were separate from the Messiah, excluded from citizenship in Israel, foreigners to the covenants. There are multiple covenants, not just the new. All the covenants of promise, without hope, without God in the world. But now, in the Messiah Yeshua, you who were once far away have been brought near by the blood of Messiah. For he himself is our peace, who has made the two groups one, and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility. All right, so the consistent teaching all throughout the Hebrew scripture and the Greek scripture is that God has one people. The promises are made to Abraham and his descendants. But within those promises made to Abraham, God promises Abraham, in your seed all the families of the earth will be blessed. And then the fullness of that is realized in the Messiah, when now Gentiles, non-Israelites, who enter into God's covenants through the blood of Messiah, are now joint heirs with the physical descendants, right? Man, we just lost a whole bunch of people. But it is what it is. Your chosen people, Israel, are committing ethnic cleansing right now. Well, I don't like to get into political things here, but like I said already, okay? It doesn't matter if you are a physical descendant of Israel, like myself, okay? I have Jewish blood in me, okay? I'm technically a physical descendant, Jewish by blood, right? If I reject the God-sent Redeemer, I am cut off from God's people. Just like all throughout the Hebrew scriptures, if a Hebrew rejected God's sent Redeemer, they were cut off from their people. Most of the Hebrew scriptures is talking about how most of God's chosen people were cut off. Most of them were. God said, I'll preserve a remnant. Right? I will preserve a remnant. But read the whole Tanakh, read the whole OT, the original Testament. It's basically a story about how God's chosen people over and over again are failing and being cut off, and only a remnant, only a faithful remnant remains. So even to this day, whether you are physically by blood related to Jacob or a Gentile grafted in, joining the people, if you reject the God-sent Redeemer, you are cut off. All right? Even the Levites, like I said, in the Torah portion Korach, where Korah raises a rebellion, they were Levites. They were Levites. They were cut off from their people because they rejected Moses, the God-sent Redeemer. In the same way, anyone today, whether you are physically a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or of the nations. If you reject the God-sent Redeemer, you are cut off from God's people. Okay, so this is not an ethnic thing. All right, this is just the reality of what the Scripture says. You know. Shout out to One House Productions. Still uses wired AirPods. It's 2025, Jason. I hate the wireless ones. All right, Evan Wilson, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I sleep with headphones in. Okay, I do this because my wife is so gracious to me. She's such a good wife that she says, Jay, I know that you work hard on those charts all day, and I know you need your sleep. So when the babies are up at night, all right, I'll take care of them. You just rest, Jay. I'm like, thank you, BB28. I appreciate that. So I sleep with white noise in my ears and a face mask on my eyes. All right. And the white noise keeps me from hearing everything else in the house, right? So, shout out to this person. It says, Jason, brother, my brother, in love from Israel. But you have no YouTube name. And look, the wireless ones, I know, look, I don't want the Bluetooth in my head. I've already got the phone on airplane mode. I don't even trust airplane mode. It's probably still zapping my dang brain. All right? So yeah, and I hate the wireless ones. I'm old school, man. I'm old school. Shout out to shout out to Paul. He has all his bases covered. That's yeah. Jewish mom, Catholic dad, baptized and circumcised. Oh wow. That's what's up, bro. There you go. You got a free ticket into the kingdom, but not really, right? Not really. Not really. You know? Shout out to Pro. God bless you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I will grill my brain. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to grill my brain with the wireless devices. You know what I'm saying? I've already got Wi-Fi in my house. You know, I've already got Wi-Fi in my house. So my brain's already being zapped here. All right? Evan, with the transliteration. Command Aaron and his son saying, this is the law of the burnt offering. I'm not so good with transliterations, Evan. Is that this week's Torah portion? I know, right? How much more is this going to squeeze? Shout out to Dawn. How much more is this going to squeeze? Give you an exercise tip to run away from your mother-in-law. I don't know, bro. I would say do hill sprints. Hill sprints are great if you're trying to run away from somebody. Or get an assault bike. I love the assault bike. It's one of my favorite cardio exercises. Hill sprints, walking, and assault bike. It's the only cardio I do. So yeah. BB28 sounds like a great woman. Absolutely. Like she is such an amazing wife. Honestly. it's funny because when I married her 11 years ago, I'd only known her for, I think, like about a year. So, you know, love is blinding, right? I had no idea how good of a wife she was going to be, you know? And then I see a whole bunch of other people getting married and their wives kind of suck, no offense. And I'm like, man, the Lord really blessed me with BB28 because she's such a good wife. And I never would have known that. You don't know somebody when you know them for a year and then you get married. That's crazy. So, whew, man. The Lord was merciful to me with my wife, just like he was merciful to me getting into Bitcoin at $600, you know? Do I think AVAX can reach a new all-time high? So I personally do. I think AVAX is a good project. It's an active project. I think it's undervalued. I think it's at support. You know, I think it's at support. Dave Roy says no. Dave Roy doesn't think AVAX can reach a new all-time high. I personally do. This is crazy, man. This Bitcoin price action is crazy. Yeah, I did dodge a bullet with that one, man. I did dodge a bullet. Shout out to Crypto Coons holding it down with the wrench. God bless you, man. Crypto Coons, God bless you, bro. We are waiting for this Bitcoin move to happen here. Andrew just celebrated a 19-year anniversary. Congratulations, Andrew, man. That's an accomplishment, you know? I just celebrated my 11th year, and so we're out of the first big divorce zone. All right, 7 to 10 years is the first big period where couples get divorced. I know this because my dad used to work in family court as a divorce mediator. He had all these statistics. And the reason why it happens is because things are all fine and dandy until you got a couple of kids. And then the financial problems start happening, and then you're so busy with your kids and the stress, you start fighting and bickering, people get divorced. And believe it or not, the next biggest divorce period is like 25 years. Because usually by then, the kids are grown and they're out of the house. And then they realize, hey, I've been living with you for 25 years and I don't even know you anymore. You know, our purpose together was just to raise these kids. Now they're raised and I'm just not feeling it, you know? But, yeah, so we made it past the first big danger zone. I have a feels that we'll make it past the second. And, yeah, so what is it? 50% of first-time marriages end in divorce, at least in the United States. 70% of second marriages end in divorce. And only 20% of third marriages end in divorce. I guess by the third marriage, you figure, well, I'm getting old, right? Getting old. Do I really want to go through that again? You know? Shout out to Randy Greer. That's so funny, man. That's so funny. Big dump incoming, says OzCan. My audio's coming in and out. Are there audio issues? Check. Check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. How's the mic? Guys, you hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. You're a Christian. You can't get a divorce. Well, you know what's crazy? At least in the United States, the divorce rate among so-called Christians is higher than again non-Christians. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that sad? Now, I'm not going to get a divorce. I've already made that decision. All right, audio sounds good. Maybe by the third marriage, you realize you're probably part of the problem. Fred Sloan will never get married again without a prenup. Oh, my audio's lagging behind. That's interesting. Let me try and refresh the mic. 90% of traders divorce the charts. Well, you know, I'll bet you a lot of marriage problems happen because of the chart. In fact, I would say this: most of the most all of the most intense arguments I've ever had with my wife had something to do with crypto and me being absolutely obsessed with the charts and having some weird like addiction to it where I can't even sit down for a family meal without checking my dang phone. All right, I'll admit it. All right, I've really struggled with balance when it comes to this trading stuff, and it's always a struggle. All right, it's always a struggle. Dawn's been married 21 years. Congratulations. I mean, that's an achievement these days. XRP. All right, Bitcoin's dumping, man. Bitcoin's dumping. Let's check out XRP. All right, well, we are down to our zone of support. Would you look at that? We are currently down in support. Let's see if we hold this. All right, this is the place we were looking for a bounce the other day. So let's see. We'll go down to our 4-hour. Yeah, we're looking at this area of liquidity right here. And it looked like we tried to get a swing failure pattern, but got rejected. Let's check out the daily. Daily swing failure pattern did confirm. Let's check out market Cipher. Okay, 4-hour. 4-hour. Starting to look good. Let's see, man. Let's see. All right, we need to close above $3.16. We need to close above $3.16. It's not looking the best right now. Let's check out the stock market. How's that doing? Stock market actually opened up bullish. Would you look at that? That's good for crypto. Dollar bearish. S&P bullish. NASDAQ doing nothing, pump and dump. Yeah, XRP, we really need to close above $3.16. Unfortunately, we keep making lower lows and lower highs. So for me right now, like the only way I'm going to expect upside is if we actually change the structure here. We need to make a higher high and then get a back test. It's very crucial. Let's put on our 886 fib. Yeah, it's crucial. Golden Child's been with his girl for 16 years, 2 kids, not married. Yeah, can't get a divorce if you're not married. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think marriage is important if you are like a follower of God, because it's supposed to be like a covenant between you and God and other people. But if you're not religious at all, then yeah, I see no reason to get married, to be honest. And even if you are, you know, I don't even think like, let's just say I'm not a big fan of the whole like telling the government you're married now so that the government can be involved in your relationship. I mean, come on, that's weird. That's weird, all right? You're marrying a person, you're making a covenant before God and your community. You're not telling the government about your personal things. That's weird, honestly. And then, you know, the government now has like legal authority over the union, and it's... Look, but that's just my opinion. I know people have different opinions. Whatever. Whatever. Should you get rid of your ETH bags? Felipe Collins says the biggest cause of divorce is marriage. I am not getting rid of my ETH bags, okay? Look, I'm going to stick to my bullish guns here. Again, when in doubt, zoom out. I do not think this looks bearish in any way, shape, or form. I am holding my ETH, and I'm not going to sell an ounce of ETH until 5,500, all right? I expect it. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to stick to my guns, even if we have a bearish rest of July and August. You know? $35% on ETH, in my opinion, is not even worth it, okay? But this is me, Wall Street Mafia. Wall Street Mafia. You know, because For me, a 35% gain on ETH is not even worth it. I mean, we pumped up 150% here. I mean, it's just not worth it to me. There's no way ETH isn't going to eventually hit a new all-time high. Even in the worst case scenario, which is this. Eventually, ETH is going to hit an all-time high. And if you're only up 35%, man, on spot. I mean, where did you get in at? You got in at 2,800? Bro, I would not sell that ETH. You got in at 2,800? I would not sell. I would hold that, all right? It might take longer than you want in a worst case scenario. Like we come down to 400. Eventually, we're going to see ETH. All right? Worst case scenario is we trade this sideways range here, okay? Like, I think things look bullish right now. We're seeing historic bullish signs, all right? But in the worst case scenario, that like this is actually our range, eventually this thing's going to break out, man. I would hold that ETH. I would hold that ETH. 35% gains. Bro, you could make that so easy on anything. Don't waste your ETH on 35% gains. I mean, you got in at 2,800. Even if we dump all the way down, you lose 80%. Eventually, you're going to be up hundreds of percent, bro. Like, that's just my non-financial advice opinion, all right? If it's a lot of money, Wall Street Mafia, like, if you have a plan for that money, if you set out, you're like, I want to make X amount of money to do X, Y, and Z in real life, that's a different story. But if you're just kind of holding it for a long-term investment, I would not sell it yet. You know? I would not sell it yet. Are we starting to pump? Let's see. Some people are like, time for a pump song. I look at the chart. A little bit of thing here. A little bit of thing. Some people say it's not going to pump. Some people say it's going to pump. Hey, we're getting a little bit of a pump. Maybe we should do the pump song. What do you guys think? Let's take a poll. Let's take a poll up in here. Let's see, pump song, yay or nay? Maybe this could be it, guys. Let's check out order flow quick. Oh! I don't know why I said ooh. There's nothing really crazy happening here. We have a few shorts trapped at the low. We have a few shorts that shorted in this candle here and this candle here. We have a few shorts underwater. Maybe we do get a little bit of a pump here. A few shorts underwater. Most people want the pump song. All right, we'll have to do it. We'll have to do it then. All right, let's see. Let's see. Man, I haven't done the pump song in so long. I wonder if I still have it in me. I wonder if I still have it in me. All right, this is the pump song. Guaranteed to pump the Bitcoin price every single time, but sometimes it does have a delayed effect, all right? I don't know if I have it in me, guys. Let's go! All right. Yeah! We gonna dump? No, we're gonna pump, baby.
We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pop. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pop. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. Yeah! Let's go, 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 let's go.
It's not really working, guys. I shouldn't have taken the poll. Dump song.
We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. Dump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump, no we're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go.
To the wire, guys. We're down to the wire. Where's the stop loss? There is no stop loss! There's no stop. It was worth a try. Oh no. We're losing it. Oh, the most depressing moment of my life. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh no!
We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. Dump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna pump, no we're gonna dump. We're gonna pump. We're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. Yeah! Whoop up a Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, whoop up a Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, whoop up a Bitcoin. Yeah, whoop up a Bitcoin. Yeah, we're gonna dump. Yeah, we're gonna pump. Yeah, we're gonna dump. Yeah, we're gonna pump, right?
Man, that did not work. That had the opposite effect, guys. Man, that's the last time I take a dang poll. It's the last time I take a poll for the dump song, for the pump song, man. Alright, let's see what happens now. Maybe that was just a fake out, alright? You're right, we don't care because we have no stop loss. Oh my goodness. You're short, you're short. You guys are short in here. I may or may not also be in a short. I've been in a short for a while as a hedge. But I think we're gonna pump. Look at this blue, big juicy blue coming on in. And yeah, as Splashfire says, sometimes it does have a delayed effect. Sometimes it does have a delayed effect. Yes, pump incoming, baby. Pump incoming. Hey, shout out to the weed guys pulling poison ivy in my yard right now. Man, you guys are so amazing and beautiful. You guys are beautiful. Shout out to y'all pulling that poison ivy. Pulling that poison ivy. $115,000 today, says Ozcan. That would be nice. I mean, finally, we need to do something. How long can we squeeze in this dang area? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it does have a delayed effect, though. You know? Sometimes it has a delayed effect. Yeah, different kind of weed guy. Not that kind of weed guy in my backyard, alright? We got a poison ivy weed guy. We got a poison ivy weeder back there. Back there, back there. $114.7 CME got filled. Yeah, I mean, look, that's where the liquidity is in general, and it looks like we really want to get there. This squeeze needs to happen. All right, and let's see if we don't take out all these lows, man. This is where the real liquidity's at here. The yellow line, right around 115. 115, baby, right around 115. Yeah, we're going for that liquidity right around 115. Like the strain. Shout out to Expert Rotary. Yo, man, thank you for the giveaway. Oh, cool. You got it. You got it. You got it. That's good. You know? Give me the number of that weed guy. Look, he's a good weed guy. All right. We need Dr. Pimple Popper to pop Bitcoin. Yeah. Man, Dr. Pimple Popper. That's what's up, right? Man, do you guys like watching that stuff? I love watching that stuff, man. If you're squeamish, look away. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's like mayo. Oh man. Did you guys see that? It's like mayo. Let's see what this is. Oh, she's got something stuck up the nose. Okay. Let's check out this one. You know, those people who make shorts reacting to stuff, that's a pretty good model. You know, you don't have to do anything. You still get the YouTube ad revenue. Oof. What an ingrown hair that is, huh? Oof. Oh, oh. Oh. Ah, look, this is the worst short in the world, man. They're gonna make it so you never see the final product. Alright? See what else we got. Look at this. Wow. Ingrown hairs. First you gotta shave. You gotta shave that. Alright. Ooh, here we go. Oh, ooh. Gotta pull it out. Just one little hair. Man, can you imagine how long is that hair? He got a whole ponytail in there. Look, he's got a whole ponytail in there. Oh, oh, with the scissor. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Oh, oh. Oh, man. I'm glad that's not me. Oof. Ah, come on, man. They don't show it. These YouTube shorts, man. We gotta get the real stuff on here, you know? This is a Oh my goodness. Ooh, what if there's a way to know if a stock will be bullish or bearish the day before? The truth is, there actually is a way. Oh my goodness. We'll have to watch that another time, but... Oh! Oh! They gotta numb it up, you know? Oof. That's crazy. Oh! Oh! Oh, man. Ooh! Oh! Oh! Oh, man! Oh, my goodness. Lost half the crowd. Yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame those guys. Oh my goodness, this is nuts. Oh. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. That's what we wanted to see. There it is. Oof. Man, can you imagine having that stuck in you? There's something nice though about getting it out, you know? Ooh. Alright, enough of that. Enough of that, man. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Alright. Alright. Well, guys, what do you think Bitcoin's gonna do? What do you think Bitcoin's gonna do? What do you think Bitcoin's gonna do? Oh, Crypto Lifers Live. That's what's up. Alright, well, I guess I'll head out then, guys. I guess I'll head out myself. But, you know, before I go, let's just want to thank the Lord for all his goodness. And let's see here. I've got a really nice, beautiful. Let's see if I can. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. There we go. No, doesn't work. Well, I can't do it then. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Let's give it another shot here. Nope, doesn't work. I can't do it, guys. I can't show you what I want to show you. That's okay. God bless you guys in Jesus' name. I pray you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.